The Galactic Combat Academy floated in high orbit above Kepler 442b, its crystalline structure gleaming against the void. Inside its training halls, representatives from 200 species learned the art of warfare, diplomacy through strength, and survival. Jennifer Hayes stood in the observation deck, her brown eyes fixed on the arena below where a predator, one of the galaxy's apex warrior species, dismantled its opponent with casual brutality. "Impressive, isn't it?" Alex Chen appeared beside her, his reflection ghosting across the reinforced viewing panel. "That's the third challenger today. None lasted more than 2 minutes." Jennifer watched the Predator's chitinous armor gleam under the arena lights, its 4 arms moving in perfect synchronization. The defeated Kralix warrior was being carried out on a medical platform, its crystalline body fractured in a dozen places. "The instructors say no one beats a Predator here," Alex continued, adjusting his academy uniform. "Not in single combat. Their reaction time is 3 times faster than most species. They've got redundant organ systems, and they're born warriors. Literally, they emerge from the spawning pools fighting." Jennifer turned to face him, a slight smile playing at her lips. "Why not?" Alex blinked. "What? Why can't someone beat them?" Jennifer's voice carried that particular tone he'd learned to recognize over their 6 months at the academy. The one that preceded her doing something either brilliant or completely reckless. "Jen, we're humans. We're the new kids in the galaxy. We've been here for what, 20 years? The Predators have been the dominant warrior caste for millennia. They've evolved for this." "So have we," Jennifer said quietly, "just differently." 3 days later, Jennifer stood in the registration office, her application form hovering in the holographic display before Instructor Valth, a seasoned Matharian whose skin shimmered like oil on water. "Human Jennifer Hayes," Valth's translator rendered his bubbling speech into galactic standard. "You wish to challenge a Predator in ritual combat?" "Yes, Instructor. You understand that while we have medical technology to prevent death, pain inhibitors are not permitted in the arena. You will experience every moment of your defeat." "I understand." Valth's optical clusters focused on her, studying. "In 300 cycles, I have seen 5 species attempt this. All failed. The Predators view these challenges as entertainment." "Why do you wish to entertain them with your suffering?" Jennifer met his gaze steadily. "Because someone should win eventually. Why not me? Why not now?" Something in her tone made Valth pause. He had trained warriors for decades, and he recognized something in this human female, not the bravado of youth, but the quiet certainty of someone who had calculated odds and found them acceptable. "Very well," he said. "The challenge is registered. May your ancestors guide you, Jennifer Hayes." The arena was packed. Word had spread through the academy that a human, a species barely integrated into galactic society, had challenged a Predator. Alex sat in the front row, his stomach churning with anxiety. He'd tried to talk Jennifer out of this for 3 days straight. She'd simply smiled and continued her preparations. The Predator entered first. Its name announced in a series of clicks and hisses that translated to razor wind. It was massive, easily 8 feet tall, its 4 arms ending in claws that could punch through steel plating. The crowd cheered. Predators were respected, feared, admired. Then Jennifer walked in and the arena fell silent. She wore the standard combat suit, form-fitting and reinforced at critical points, but otherwise offered little protection. She looked impossibly small against her opponent, but she moved with a fluidity that caught the attention of the more observant spectators. Not the aggressive prowl of a Predator, but something else, something patient. "Begin!" the arena master's voice echoed. Razorwind lunged immediately, a blur of chitin and claw, expecting the same terrified retreat every opponent showed. But Jennifer wasn't there. She'd moved laterally, not back, staying close to the predator's blind spot between its primary and secondary arm sets. The predator spun, faster than thought, but again Jennifer had anticipated, ducking under a strike that would have decapitated her, her hand touching the arena floor briefly before she rolled away. "She's studying it," Alex breathed, understanding dawning. And she was. While Razorwind attacked with overwhelming force, Jennifer dodged, blocked, and retreated. But every movement was deliberate. She was mapping its patterns, timing its reactions, finding the rhythms in its assault. 3 minutes passed, then 5. The crowd grew restless. No one lasted this long. Razorwind, frustrated now, roared and launched a 4-pronged attack designed to overwhelm through sheer simultaneous assault. It was the technique that had defeated every previous challenger. Jennifer dropped flat, and the predator's own limbs tangled momentarily in the space where she'd been. In that half-second of confusion, Jennifer moved. She swept the predator's legs, the thin, spring-loaded limbs that provided its incredible speed, but represented a structural vulnerability. Razorwind toppled, and before it could recover, Jennifer was on its back, her arm locked around what passed for its throat, applying pressure to the nerve cluster every student had studied in xenobiology. The predator thrashed, but Jennifer held on with the grim determination that humanity had refined over millennia of persistence hunting on Earth. She didn't have claws or armor or redundant organs, but she had endurance, she had pattern recognition. She had the ability to turn an opponent's strength into weakness. Razorwind's movement slowed, then stopped. It tapped the arena floor 3 times, the universal signal of submission. The silence lasted 3 heartbeats before the arena erupted. Later, in the medical bay, where both combatants received treatment for minor injuries, Razorwind approached Jennifer. Through a translator, it spoke words that would become legendary in the academy. "You fought as prey that became predator. Your species is a concerning." Jennifer smiled, exhausted but triumphant. "We're just persistent. Someone had to win eventually." Alex found her an hour later, surrounded by students from a dozen species, wanting to understand how she'd done it. "Why not?" he said, shaking his head in amazement. Jennifer looked at him, her eyes bright. "Exactly. Why not?" And in that moment, the galaxy began to understand what humanity brought to the stars. Not the fastest reflexes or the strongest bodies, but the stubborn refusal to accept that something couldn't be done simply because it hadn't been done before.